Here are 5 podcasts you should listen to if you like learning, health and wellness, and changing your mindset. The first one is Heal Thyself with Dr. G. I love this podcast. My sister actually is the one that got me into this podcast, and he does a lot of how to heal yourself naturally, a lot of alternatives for like toxic ingredients versus non-toxic ingredients, and some good alternatives for you. He has a lot of really interesting people on, a lot of very smart people on. He even did one based on pillows, and it really opened my eyes to how disgusting our pillows are. So I would suggest listening to that, and I think it will change your mind and want to make you have a bonfire with your current pillows. The next one is the Mel Robbins podcast. She is so inspirational. I love the way she talks and explains things. She came up with the Let Them theory, which I implemented last year, and wow, did it change my life. But if I ever need to feel inspired or need some like self-confidence or just want to get out of a rut, I always put her podcast on because I feel like she just has a way of talking and inspiring you so naturally, and it just makes you want to do better. I habitually listen to the Skinny Confidential with Lauren and Michael Bosstick. I love their dynamic. They have been together forever. They have so many interesting people on from all sorts of the spectrum, like fashion, health and wellness, doctors, musicians, like everything and everyone you could imagine, they are willing to talk to. And I have learned so much on this podcast. So many things that they have talked about I have implemented in my life. They have a lot of founders and CEOs on, and their story on how they built their empire is so interesting and inspiring as well. So I feel like they really inspire me and motivate me. And I just love everybody that they have on. They're just such a great podcast to listen to. I also love Steven's podcast, Diary of a CEO. The way he interviews people is just so therapeutic. He's like a very calming presence, I feel. He brings on a lot of really interesting and smart people. One of my favorite podcast episodes he ever did was with the top divorce lawyer in the country, and it was just the questions that were asked, the way the interviews always flow, just always make me want to listen to more interviews, if that makes sense. And that divorce lawyer actually came out with a book that I plan on reading this year, which is called How to Stay in Love, and I will be reading that. But if you like to learn a lot, again, he brings on people from all ends of the spectrum, and I always take away something from every episode. So he is a fantastic interviewer, and his interviewing skills always make me want to listen to more episodes, if that makes sense. Number 5 is Wellness Her Way with Gracie Norton. I absolutely love her. I think she's just such a gem of a human, and she has completely transformed her lifestyle and almost healed her PCOS. She was diagnosed with PCOS a few years ago, and she kind of went on this journey to heal her body naturally, and she just provides so many great tips and tricks and really guiding you through how you can balance your hormones. And I also love following her on her social medias because she posts lots of great recipes, and she makes it seem that living in a healthy way is so attainable and anybody can do it. And I love that. Not to mention, I feel like the way she talks is also, she's just like a very calming presence. She's just very relaxed all the time. So yeah, those are my top 5. I would love to know what you listen to. But I will be carrying all 5 of these through with me this year, but I'm such a podcast girl. Anytime I'm in the car, I'm listening to a podcast. I'd much rather listen to a podcast than listen to music typically. So I would love to know what you listen to as well.